5 incredible stories of heroic dogs of war. War is never easy. Its heroes are often remembered for their patriotism and valor when the men and women return home from the battlefield. There are other military heroes, however, that often go unsung, the dogs of war. Here are 5 stories out of the thousands of dogs who work with soldiers all over the world. Number 5. Caesar. Before World War II began, Caesar the German Shepherd was so well trained that he made deliveries for the Glazer family in the Bronx neighborhood of New York City. He would carry little packages of groceries up 4 flights of stairs in his mouth. The boys of the Glazer family were getting drafted into the war. Once there was a call for military dogs to join the army, they knew that Caesar's skills were needed. At first, Caesar was a messenger dog, carrying messages between camps. Eventually, Caesar graduated to working on the battlefield. Rufus Mayo, his human handler, was asleep beside Caesar in his foxhole on an island in the Pacific. Caesar heard the approaching enemy Japanese soldiers, and instinctively jumped out to protect Rufus. Waking up from Caesar's movements, Rufus noticed that the enemy had thrown a grenade at his feet. He had just enough time to react by throwing the grenade back before it exploded. Caesar was already on the move when he was shot 3 times. A battle broke out, and Caesar ran off. After the conflict had ended, Rufus was able to find Caesar and take him to a surgeon. 3 weeks later, Caesar recovered and returned to active duty. Number 4. Buster. 4 years, the Springer Spaniel Buster had served in Bosnia, Afghanistan, and Iraq by sniffing out bombs for British soldiers. He is said to have saved thousands of lives with his skills to identify potential threats. During off hours, Buster would walk up to many soldiers who felt comforted by his presence. Sergeant Will Barrow was Buster's caretaker during the war, and would eventually adopt him. Having a dog around did wonders for the morale of the soldiers. Barrow discovered that many soldiers spoke to Buster about their feelings and fears when they were afraid to confide in human beings. When he retired from his military career, Buster lived with Barrow in Lincolnshire, England. Barrow believed that Buster had a form of post-traumatic stress disorder, just like many human veterans. Buster was present during enemy attacks, and was terrified of fireworks and loud noises even after he retired. At 13 years old, Buster passed away in Barrow's home. Barrow told the BBC, "He saved my life every day that we were together. I owe him so much." Number 3. Gunner. At Australia's Darwin Air Force Base during World War II, soldiers found a stray Kelpie puppy. He was only 6 months old, and had already managed to break one of his legs. As the men nursed him back to health, they decided to name him Gunner. After living on the base as a pet for some time, Gunner began to recognize the sounds of Japanese planes. Gunner quickly learned to associate the sound of Japanese planes with oncoming danger. With his sensitive dog ears, he could hear the planes coming 20 to 60 minutes before they arrived. He began barking a warning for these attacks, which gave the men plenty of time to prepare to defend themselves. Gunner's hearing was so accurate that Percy Leslie Westcott, the leading aircraftman, was given permission to sound the official air raid siren as soon as Gunner began barking of oncoming danger. Surely, the men who saved this puppy's life never imagined that he, in turn, would save theirs. Number 2. Luca. In 2012, Luca was a U.S. Marine Corps dog sniffing for bombs in Afghanistan. She had gone on over 400 missions successfully, and saved countless lives. On her last mission, she got too close to a homemade bomb, and the explosion blew off one of her legs. Corporal Juan Rodriguez was with Luca while it happened. Rodriguez quickly made a tourniquet for Luca's wound and carried her to safety. Taking responsibility for the dog during her recovery, Rodriguez even slept with Luca to make sure that she was never left alone. Her owner, Sergeant Chris Willingham, made a statement that without Luca, he would have never made it back home to see his family again. Since then, Luca has fully recovered. When she retired from service, she was awarded the Dicking Medal, which has only been given to 66 military dogs since the award was created in World War II. Number 1. Cairo. In 2011, U.S. Special Forces soldiers were in Iraq on a top-secret mission, using military dogs to sniff out bombs and potential enemy soldiers hiding underground. Cairo, a Navy SEAL-trained Belgian Malinois, was selected from a number of other qualified candidates for this very important mission. Working tirelessly night after night, Cairo needed to sniff the perimeter of a compound that was surrounded with barbed wire fences. It was most likely booby-trapped or armed with guards, and Cairo was trained to attack enemies on command. Navy SEAL dogs are equipped with vests, which include a parachute and night vision goggles. Fully equipped with the newest technology, Cairo helped the soldiers succeed in an intense mission that made him famous around the world, finding Osama bin Laden. Now retired, Cairo has been adopted by a family who has a beagle as his playmate. Cairo helps put groceries away, carrying bags from the car to the house. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.